This is OwlUp, where learning happens in minutes, not hours. For a deeper journey, explore all our courses at owlup.co. Now, let's dive in. Welcome back to Energy Management. This is Chapter 3, and today we're diving into something that can make or break your entire day: your emotional energy, and how those inner ups and downs directly impact how much you actually get done. Let's get into it. Right now, your body is running hundreds of tiny emotional programs, most you never notice. On a normal Tuesday, they may drain you more than your job does. Here's the twist. Your mood isn't random at all. It's a system you can learn to steer, almost minute by minute. Think about your last workday in chapters. The rushed morning, the tense email, the tiny win before lunch, the dip at 3 p.m., the second wind in the evening. Each chapter has its own emotional climate: sharp, foggy, heavy, or light, and your body is the stage crew changing sets in the background. Hormones shift, your heart rhythm subtly changes, muscles tighten or soften. You notice the headline, "I'm stressed, I'm fine," but miss the micro shifts that actually decide whether you think clearly, listen well, or snap at someone you care about. This is where emotional energy really lives, in those transitional moments between chapters. The more precisely you can sense them, the more options you have. Not to fake being positive, but to choose whether you're reacting on autopilot or responding on purpose. Most of us treat these chapters as fixed. Mornings wreck me. After 3 p.m., I'm useless. Evenings are when I finally feel like myself. But those patterns are less like personality traits and more like daily weather shaped by sleep, blood sugar, past experiences, and what your nervous system has learned to expect. A tense commute can prime you to overreact to a neutral Slack message. A small early win can make the same message bounce right off. The key shift is moving from judging the chapter, "Why am I like this?" to simply noticing its texture, in real time, with a bit more curiosity than criticism. Here's where the science quietly backs up what you've felt your whole life. Those chapters in your day are not just in your head. They're riding on a body-wide network that's constantly adjusting how much emotional energy you have available. Your limbic system is scanning for meaning and threat. Your autonomic nervous system is deciding whether you're closer to ready to pounce or safe enough to think, and your hormones are setting the background tempo. Together, they create a kind of internal readiness level that changes far faster than your calendar does. One way researchers peek into this is through heart rate variability, how much tiny wiggles there are between beats. When HRV is higher, your system is more flexible. It can ramp up for a hard conversation, then settle down again instead of staying stuck in red alert. Higher HRV is linked not just to better emotion regulation, but to lower cardiac risk over time, which means your capacity to take a breath and shift state is literally protective for your heart. Another window is cortisol, the stress hormone that helps you mobilize in short bursts, but wears you down when it never fully resets. You won't feel cortisol directly, but you'll feel its pattern: wired at night, flat in the morning, easily irritated in the afternoon. That's not a character flaw. It's often your body saying, "I haven't had a chance to stand down." The good news: these systems are surprisingly trainable. Practices like cognitive reappraisal, consciously giving a situation a different, more workable meaning, have been shown to reduce daily cortisol output over weeks. That's not the same as thinking positive. It's more like editing a script so your nervous system doesn't treat every calendar notification like an alarm. And there's another layer: the mix of emotions across a day. Research suggests that when people experience a solid ratio of genuine, not forced positive emotions, interest, gratitude, amusement, to difficult ones, they're more creative and resourceful. The point isn't to chase a magic number. It's to notice when your inner storyline has become all threat, no possibility, and gently widen the frame. What this means practically: tiny, repeated choices about how you interpret an email, how you breathe before a meeting, whether you take 90 seconds to move after a draining task, are all signals. Over time, they teach your body what normal should feel like. You're not flipping a single switch. You're training the whole control room. A simple way to see this in action is to zoom into one small transition. Say you're moving from focused work into a one-to-one with your manager. On the surface, it's just a calendar shift. Inside, your chapter often flips before you've noticed. posture changes, breathing tightens, your attention narrows to what could go wrong. Rather than fighting that, you can treat it like a rehearsal. For 1 week, pick a single recurring transition, maybe before any meeting or after I close my laptop at night. Decide on a 90-second ritual, 3 slower breaths while you stand up, a stretch as you scan for one thing you're genuinely curious about, or a quick note to yourself. In this next block, I want to bring X, clarity, kindness, precision. Your brain starts to associate that cue with a shift in state, like a musician recognizing the first bar of a familiar song and settling into the right tempo. Over time, those tiny, consistent rituals become handles you can grab when the day starts to run away from you. As sensors, AI, and workplaces converge, your inner world may soon have a dashboard. Smartwatches are already edging toward real-time tension alerts, like a check engine light for your reactions. Next steps could include calendars that reschedule after detecting strain, or meeting tools that nudge teams to pause when collective tone spikes. The open question? Who owns that data? Your future self, or your employer and insurers? As tech starts mapping your inner terrain, the real leverage may stay surprisingly low-tech. The choices you make between pings, meetings, and messages. Like tuning an instrument between songs, a few deliberate breaths, a quick walk, or one honest check-in can shift how the next scene plays out, without waiting for any future dashboard. Before next week, ask yourself, looking at a normal workday, at what exact times do I feel my emotional energy crash, and what's usually happening, people, tasks, environments, in the 30 minutes before that dip? If I treated my emotional energy like a battery, what are 3 specific chargers I already know work for me? For example, a 5-minute walk, changing my environment, a 2-minute breathing reset. And where in tomorrow's schedule can I deliberately plug them in? When I catch myself spiraling into a negative state tomorrow, what's one simple pattern interrupt I'm willing to use in real time? A phrase I'll say to myself, a physical movement I'll do, or a quick change of context? And how will I remind myself to actually do it? This was OwlUp, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow!